Good evening, everybody. We are back. We are back. It is Kicking with the Crew. I am your host, Matt, with Damon, DeMarco, and Zach. Trev is on staff duty tonight, so he's not going to make it. DeMarco is probably sharing the stream everywhere.
I'm here
And
though,
then,
y'all. Best believe I'm here.
then you got Zach was making sure his priggle head was covered.
Facts.
Oh, man. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good, man.
Good.
Man, I like that hat, Zach.
I mean, it was a draft hat a couple years ago. I wear it
Wasn't
to
that-
work and shit. Like it's
Wasn't
dirty.
that
as
last
crap.
year's?
Yeah, it's dirty as hell now.
I think this one was like 2 years ago, I think. I can't wait for them to post out this year's.
Yeah, I think it'll be out in a week.
Yeah, they usually send it out pretty soon, don't they?
Yeah, it comes out like
And
a month or so before the draft.
And I order it day one. I always have to have the draft hats.
Me too. That's the only hat I buy every year.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Man, where's Chad at? Normally Chad's in the comments by now. He ain't in there yet.
First one.
Yeah, normally, man. Where is everybody tonight?
I think he might have forgot that we were coming back. They were
Man.
like, you guys took off a week, so
Somebody-
we're going
Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
there he is.
There he is.
right on cue.
Right on cue. He heard us talking about him. All right, so everybody knows that we've been doing our war room, and just to give everybody a little bit of a backup, we will be redoing round one because of the Carolina and Bears trade. There was a lot of discussions on whether we should or not, and hey, man, Chad, we'll get there. Chill.
Hey, Chad, I'm with you, bro. I've been waiting too. Like, when we gonna hear about this goddamn news, man?
But all right, yeah. So
Time. We'll get
So-
there before Friday.
we're gonna redo round one, but we're not gonna redo round one today. All right, we're gonna redo round one probably the next time we have everybody. Today is a special feature of our war room where we're gonna be going through free agency, who we're gonna re-sign, who we're gonna sign, kicking with the crew style off season, who we're gonna cut early, not the 53-man roster cuts because that segment's gonna come on later. But who do we have that we need to seriously get rid of? Chad, hint, hint. But yeah,
More importantly, let's start with the good news. Let's what are you guys' priority? Who is the first free agent that comes to your mind that needs to stick around?
that
Stick
needs
around?
to stick around.
Like resign.
Yes, one of our own.
Oh,
Or if you want to
CJ
think outside the box and go with another guy that you're thinking of.
CJ Speed.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Speed for Zach.
I know DeMarco sent me our free agent list. Let me go get that and save that on the computer and pull it up real quick so that we're not trying to do this right off of our head.
No
Just so
problem. Damon, who are you thinking?
yeah. Just so I'm not copying Zach because that was gonna be my choice too. I'm gonna say Rodney McLeod.
I don't have it anyway.
That's
I don't have
another
it
one
anymore.
that Matt was high on too, that we needed to re-sign to keep with this team, even though we do still have a lot of safeties. So yeah,
For me, I want to say Yannick.
Yannick.
Yannick, I think replacing 9 sacks is kind of difficult. We saw that it was a struggle when we let go of 9 sacks before with
Justin Houston.
no old boy that went to Tennessee. Can't think of his name.
Nico Autry.
Danico
Autry.
Autry. And the next year we didn't have as many sacks. We finally replaced it with Yannick, and I kind of don't want to see Yannick walk.
My personal opinion on that is because we tried to replace Danico Autry with Al-Qadim Muhammad, who was more of a run stopper, who we thought, I guess, was going to turn into Danico. But
Muhammad is a one tech. I don't know why we would try to replace an edge
Yeah.
rusher
He's a
with
free
a one
agent.
tech.
He's back on the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, because it wasn't gonna work, and apparently Frank thought the same, or not Frank, but Matt Eberflus thought it would work over there. It just clearly it didn't work twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, our notable free agents out there for anybody who didn't know was Parrish Campbell, Ashton Doolin, Matt Pryor, Dennis Kelly, Rodney McLeod, Yannick Ndakwe, Bobby Okereke, EJ Speed, Matt Hawk, and Chase McLaughlin. And my biggest free agent to me is Paris Campbell. In my opinion, we need to make sure we get that guy back in the building. Love his speed. Then come back with another bounce back season. Get him on a small deal. Keep him in the building. That's another guy that I would want to keep.
So if anybody pays attention on Twitter, it looks like we've already re-signed Paris. He just hasn't announced it yet. That man has given every indication to anyone who's tagged him about re-signing, and all he's given him was that handshake emoji. Like that man has already re-signed. So
I don't know, man. According to Jordan Schultz, any free agent that we have drafted right now is pretty much on the market for a big deal in between 12 and 14 million. Literally all of them.
none of them are.
But
None of them are.
That's
Who the hell? Hold on.
hold on.
Who is Jordan Schultz?
Jordan Schultz is the son of some
Of nobody.
Time,
nobody.
the big time owner of all the Starbucks or whatever.
So he's a
Yeah,
nobody.
he's an NFL insider. He gave up owning all the Starbucks to do inside business. He's been on Good Morning Football a bunch. Yeah, I know exactly what Mark was talking about.
He's on Pat McAfee show a ton. Yeah. Supposedly he's tied in, but honestly, in my opinion, I just thought it was funny that this team's free agent is pretty much up for grabs, and a lot of people might want to have him, but he's rumored to go to the teams where coaches that he already worked with. It's not other random teams. Like, you aren't hearing the Chiefs or the Eagles or the Niners. You're not hearing some other random teams. You're hearing the Panthers and the Chicago Bears. So to me,
and Cleveland,
Cleveland,
Cleveland
exactly. Colts.
Exactly.
Listen. There is not one free agent that we have that is going to earn big money. Maybe Okereke.
I think Yannick, man, dude.
Yannick and Bobby, both the
both of them. Maybe that's it.
Yannick hasn't been rumored to get big deals. The three rumored have been EJ, Bobby, and Paris. Those have been.
So I'll tell you right now, maybe Bobby, but EJ doesn't deserve a big contract, and neither does Paris. Yannick has been rumored of signing a big contract with Cleveland.
Hey, I know they may not deserve.
Maybe with Cincinnati, one of them Ohio fucking states.
They're probably going to look to go do exactly what Christian Kirk did. I'm going to go find somebody who will overpay me and hopefully turn out to be that guy.
Christian Kirk he turned out to be their guy.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's what a lot of these guys are going to be thinking they're going to do or want to do, and so that's why I'm like of the opinion. And I know Zach and Damon have been totally against me and my Paris Campbell love.
Still am.
But I promise you, he's going to go to some other team. I'm telling you, he's going to go to some other team, and he's going to go crazy. And I'm just going to stare at you two every single week who didn't want to keep him. And I'm going to be like, look what y'all wanted to do, man. Look what y'all wanted to do.
We've been in the mock off season. I might surprise you.
But yeah, so that wraps up kind of our free agents. I don't know if you guys want to dive into deeper into that. I know that we did want to make sure, I guess, the overall total of what we should do with free agents. I think we can't let both of the linebackers walk away. Paris Campbell, Doolin, and Yannick and Rodney. So we got a few that we probably want to keep. I don't know if there was any objections for any of you guys there. But let's talk about some outside free agents. Matt, I think you got the list that I sent you, right? I kind of threw that together.
Yeah,
I think I still got it in my notes. I don't know if you guys want to.
I got it. I got it.
I know Zach has some. I don't know if Damon has any, but it's a long list of free agents that I had here that could kind of fit what the Colts will want to do and to add to what we're doing. But it'd be a lot to read off.
I'm gonna go ahead and make something real quick, and then I'll put it.
For sure. Any Zach? So who do you got outside the building that you would want to put together with this room or this roster?
To me, I really feel like guard is a position that needs filled, and I don't want a rookie not starting unless the Colts trade down. Like if they trade 4 and say we're not in it for a quarterback, and like all the good ones are gone, and the team trades up. And we get stuck with like Levis.
Guard. I got a couple names for you. Right. What about you, Damon? You thinking the same thing at guard?
Yeah. Can I be specific with who I said too? Because
I
know he just hit the market. Sure. I said Gabe Jackson. Okay. I think he fills in, pretty well. And I went and looked at his PFF as well. Only allowed 2 sacks this season. I think that's a lot better than what we had this year in. So I said that, but then I also went edge, just in case that we're not able to bring Yannick back. and kind of a bigger splash here. And I know we'll get more into like the cap size of things, but I said Frank Clark, man. I think that could be our big guy this offseason.
yeah.
That's
No problem at all with none of those names. Real quick, I just want to touch on what Chad here said. Chad, about what do you think about the Schultz rumors? So Dalton Schultz tight end out of Dallas. So I did have him on my free agency list of the outside rooms. I did put a question mark by it though, because it's not necessarily a major need for us with our tight end room, but that is a name that I kind of thought last year we would have went after before we drafted 2, and I think that it could still be something that's there. But to go back to you guys' point, you said Gabe Jackson at guard. I wouldn't be opposed to that. He is a little up there in age, so I do got some names here that you guys might want to think about here. So I had Nate Davis from the Titans. We're pretty familiar with him. And then Dalton Reisner from Denver Broncos.
Denver?
Yeah. So
What about Connor McGovern? Do you have Connor McGovern from the Broncos as well? Plays center and guard.
I did not have his name on there, but okay, there it is right there. So you guys can see my list there, and you guys can kind of just read off of those names, and I'll just touch on what we were just talking about. So, yeah, so right guard, I was just thinking Dalton Reisner will probably fit better for us just because he's not up there in age, I don't believe. I'm not 100% sure of his age, but I know for sure he's younger than Gabe Jackson and should be younger than Nate Davis. So I thought that'd be a pretty good fit for us. And then they did have a pretty decent running game. Their backs and stuff and their O-line struggled, but I think Dalton Reisner can fit with that dog mentality that we want to have up front to run the ball, maul some guys, and get after some people.
I'd be all for it.
And then some other names on there, Damon, if you want to take a look as well. I had Marcus Davenport at edge rusher.
I had McCole Hardman too, man. I mean, I think if Paris ends up going where I think he's going to Carolina, man. My personal opinion, especially now that DJ's gone, I think that's an easy pickup for Carolina, and they'd probably be willing to give a little bit more than we would. But I like McCole Hardman a lot. He's gonna have a utility guy too. I mean, they're running like end arounds with him as well, so I think he'd be like a good fit with our system. But
OBJ.
I know.
And then me and Matt did talk about Leonard Floyd, I believe it was, at pass rusher as well.
What do y'all think about Jonathan Jones possibly?
I love Jonathan Jones, man. You guys saw me put him. Give me Jonathan Jones.
But they said that supposedly he's begging to come back to New England, but I think it's going to be you know how New England is now.
New England does it every year. They let a top-tier corner walk away. I don't know why. Not Jonathan Jones from Houston, Zach, if that's who you're thinking.
Right. No, right. Same name, different, but yeah, the kid from New England, he's a dog.
I want that guy. I know it costs a lot of money, but man.
He's 29, though. I didn't realize that. He's about to be 30.
29?
Yeah.
I thought he was young.
Nope. He's about to be 30, man.
Well, I guess he just developed later than I thought.
Another guy I really like here, just because he's different, Jacoby Myers. He'd be a solid option.
That was one of the small names that you don't really think about. That
right. You could move Alec in the slot, and he can do everything Paris Campbell can. And then you got another possession/outside physical receiver in Jacoby Myers. If the Colts got him, that'd be a steal because I think he's way underused in New England.
Paris Campbell can do it all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think he's talking about size-wise.
I'm just kidding. Completely joking. But I watched the video clips today of Odell Beckham Jr.'s workouts, and
Boy look good.
Boy look good.
He definitely look young.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. Man, if we had a shot.
Chad actually had a question here. Do you think OBJ is humble enough to come back and be a leader in the wide receiver room?
Yes.
I don't think OBJ ever had a problem being a leader. The guy just wants to win, and he's passionate about it. That's the kind of guy you want in your locker room. Now, the problem for me is a guy like him isn't going to want to play for a city like Indianapolis. That's the problem I see for him. He's going to want the stars, the lights. He wants to shine bright. I know anywhere he goes, his name will be bright.
I think that's a misconception. Indianapolis is one of the most popular teams in the last 2 decades.
No, it's not that I don't disagree there, but it's like we're not really a team that free agents are roaring to come to, and the fact that we don't have a quarterback, and now we're in the back half those options.
The reason free agents aren't willing to come here was because of the whole Frank Reich shenanigans that was going on here.
Because Ballard won't pay.
We didn't have a consistent quarterback. It had nothing to do with the city of Indianapolis. It didn't, because
Right.
prior to having inconsistency at quarterback, we never had issues bringing in free agents.
It's called Ballard
reason-
does not pay for big names.
That's it,
That's
right
the
there.
exact reason why free agents don't come here.
Yeah,
Ballard doesn't pay A+ money for B+ product.
I really think the whole small market conversation, I understand Indy is a small market, but when it comes to NFL and the way the player, the way the free agency works, Ballard just doesn't want to pay these people. He offers almost every player in free agency. He just doesn't offer them anything they want to take.
And then we got Brock down here too. Adam Thielen needs to be added to that list. He's a free agent. I'm not against Adam Thielen, but he is getting up there with age, and he's a possession receiver. So in that role, I'd probably like to have someone a little bit younger. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
Just to update all fans, if you come in and say that somebody should be on the list, I promise you these are just made during the week as I go sometimes, and so this isn't like an active updated list. So there are definitely some names out there. Like, I'd be even open to trading for Darius Slay. I wanted them the year that we didn't get him 2 years ago, and so just some names on there. But definitely Adam Thielen can be on that list. He'd be a good mentor, good slot receiver, somebody that can move around, somebody that knows all the routes. One of those guys, I think he had, like 7, 8, 100-yard receiving games straight. Guys, legit. And so I don't think I wouldn't be opposed to having him.
All right. I don't want to spark a debate here, but I think it's time for it, because Paris Campbell seems to be very strongly opinionated between DeMarco, me, and Zach. And Zach, he said he might have some surprises here. So what do you think?
What do I think? Oh, I think he's coming back to Indy.
Do you want to bring him back? Do you think?
Like, if I was the GM of the Colts, he's getting the exact same contract that Juju Smith-Schuster got with the Chiefs. 1 year, $4 million, $2.5 million guaranteed, and he's coming back. And if he's healthy and he pops off, Colts gonna have to pay him to keep him. And if he's not, then it's no skin off the knee. So
keep that boy.
I mean, that's how I do it. Like, if he obviously has made it known he wants to come back. So then the Colts just need to do. I don't care if it's a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal, when 1 year is a void year. You bring him back. Like, if he wants to come back, bring him back. It'd be silly not to.
Hey, I mean, and it's also been said that Ballard wants to bring him back.
Yeah, they're both sides are interested. Hey, real quick, Anthony Roberts, please tell me why we aren't trading for Lamar.
Yeah, he said, please tell me we aren't.
Yeah, he just wants to know that we aren't. I wish we could tell you the answer to that. I wish we could. But
Anthony, I would like you to real quick to just tell us why you don't want Lamar before we answer that question. And I believe Matt is also in the Bring Cares Back building. Matt, did you have anybody to add to our free agent list there? Or anybody that you
Chase McLaughlin. That man needs to be re-signed.
Absolutely.
I agree.
We need to
I think the important I think for me the important key is that knowing that this year's a developmental year, we're not going to spend a lot of money this free agency. I think a lot of people need to understand that. I think the majority of this offseason is going to be focal pointed toward the draft. Bringing back Paris Campbell, I think, is going to happen. I think that's already been decided from what I've seen on Twitter. It's already happened. It's just no one's announced it yet, because you know how Ballard doesn't like to announce anything.
Well, you can't announce anything until Monday, when the legal tampering.
But it can leak. No, well, that's not tampering, because he's already one of ours.
True.
That's not tampering. But Ballard doesn't ever really announce anything. So that's going to happen. I think one of the things everybody needs to be ready for is the fact that we're about to save $17 million. I think Matt Ryan is gone. I don't think there's a question about it. I think he's getting cut. And I think he's going to get cut before that March 17th timeframe, because that March 17th timeframe, he's entitled to guaranteed money. So everybody who's got questions about Matt Ryan, I expect that to happen this week. I'd expect everybody to be prepared to get that news sometime between Monday through Wednesday.
Yep. I agree.
So
I
you
agree.
want to jump into off-season individuals? We were the GM, how we would do that? Just because moves are being made, or do you want to hang tight? Because I'm ready to go. Like I'll leave the show off if you want me to.
Let's go, Zach.
Let's go, because you've been waiting for this for all
Like,
week.
all
but
week. This is like my third or fourth write-up.
He tried to talk
So-
about this at 4:30 in the morning on Monday.
Dude, I've been hyped. Like since this has gone down, I've been stupid hyped. So
Everybody's getting 2-year deals.
if you guys know part of my name thing, each week I try to change my name. Do you know something corny? So this week is
so does
Bargain Bin
Damon.
Ballard. So my mock off season starts with 4 big moves. The first 2 moves, I'm releasing Matt Ryan and Nick Foles. Matt Ryan is $17.2 million. That's coming off the cap. Nick Foles is 2.1.
That gives us what, 31?
That gives
So
you
about
roughly.
31.
I'm restructuring Buckner. I'm turning his $18 million salary into a $9 million bonus. So that gives us more cap. Along with I'm restructuring Ryan Kelly's deal. He's also getting a bonus of $4.5 million. So that opens up $45.3 million in cap. Those 4 moves alone. The rookie class is about $7.5 million total from first through 7th round picks. So the Colts can start the season just by making those 4 moves with $37.8 million. Going into this, I'm not re-signing Bobby Okereke. He's walking. Dude is too good, and the Colts cannot afford him based on certain moves. Also, I'm not reworking Jonathan Taylor's contract this offseason because I think that the Colts will franchise tag him next offseason because they're already going to end up paying him big money anyway if they bring him back.
About that franchise tag is about 10 mil,
right,
on average.
That's not bad.
The first offseason move I'm making, and I know people are going to hate me for this, I'm bringing in Mike White as quarterback from the Jets. I want a veteran backup, 2-year deal, $6 million guaranteed. Just someone who, if we lose or if the rookie gets hurt, he's sustainable, can win a couple games. He fits. I like it. I don't hate it. He's not great. He's not terrible. He's Mike White. Mike White's deal is a $5.5 million cap hit. So after 1 year, if you want to cut him, that's $5 million we can. The first big deal. Oh, shit. The first big deal I'm bringing in. I'm sorry. That's my ugly face. I'm re-signing Michael Pittman Jr. on a 3-year, $60 million deal. $35 million guaranteed, $20 million a year. He gives you kind of that Chris Godwin production. Low end 1, high end 2. I think that would be a steal. You could essentially in 3 years come back to that. I also put 2 void years in there, so the guaranteed salary isn't bad. Plus, we got a rookie on a rookie deal and a 5th-year option. So, yeah, we can afford it. I'm bringing Yannick Ngakoue back on a 2-year, $28 million deal, $14 million guaranteed, $8 million at signing. After 1 year, we can cut him. That saves us $4.8 million if we choose. However, I don't think the Colts will cut Yannick. He'll probably continue to work off a 2-year deal. The guy's 26 right now. He'll be 28. I talked about it earlier. I'm bringing everyone's least favorite receiver back, Paris Campbell. He's getting the exact same deal that Juju Smith-Schuster got from Kansas City. 1 year, $4 million, $2.5 million guaranteed. If we were to cut him, that would open up $4 million, but there's no point in that. Then I'm re-signing Matt's favorite player on the team, Chase McLaughlin. He's getting Younghoe Koo money, so 5 years, $20 million, $8 million guaranteed, $6.25 million signing. That's a bargain. And then last, I'm giving your kicker,
Chase.
Yeah.
And then last, I'm giving EJ Speed the exact same contract that Zaire Franklin got. 3 years, $10 million, $4 million guaranteed.
So
now
that
leaves $7 million for the Colts to do whatever they want with. I said save it for a 911 fund or roll it over for next year's cap. That is my offseason. Incredibly Ballard, incredibly boring, but I really think that's probably what's going to happen.
Brock and Zach's bargain bin Ballard segment right there. We would be keeping Shaq.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness gracious.
I'm keeping Shaq. Yeah.
Man, you didn't read the instructions, all right, man. I said don't do caps.
I had to. I needed to know about caps. I wanted to, and then once I got going, I was like, "Yo, this is kind of fun."
So I know how you feel, man. Because let me guess, you went to what was it, Sport Track or Over the Cap?
Yeah.
And you looked at all of that, and you started messing around with how they allow you to restructure.
Mhm.
They allow you to cut people. Yeah,
Yep.
I do that all the time, bro.
Yep.
I love that.
And I was like,
website.
"Oh, this is how.
But I
This is
didn't-
exactly how the Colts should do it."
I was
but-
too tired to do that this week. That's why I said we shouldn't do that.
Well, I did it. I kept it as realistic as possible, just because I feel like
Mm,
that's probably how it's going to shake out.
That was good, man. That was good. I don't think I disagree with anything that you said. To be completely honest, that's probably going to be the most Ballard move.
I mean,
It really-
honestly, I don't even know if calling it a Ballard move. I don't think that's a bad move.
No, not at
the
all.
way you come up from 13 million in cap space up to 45 million. I mean, 43 million. That definitely doesn't.
My only question marks would revolve around restructuring Buckner. I understand the reason behind it, 100%. I just don't know if that's something that would actually happen. That's definitely a pipe dream to see if that contract gets restructured.
It should. I think if he was a team player and he was, wanting the Colts to win as much as he talks about winning and wanting to be first class, he's a leader on the team. He's one of the few you go to and say, "Hey, you're a leader. You want us to win. I need your help. This is what I'm willing to do for you. Are you willing?" And I believe as long as it's a fair offer, I see no reason why he wouldn't. It's not like Ballard being, a dick. As long as he, is solid about it, I see no problem in not being. The one question and the only reason why I brought up Mike White is I've been watching a lot of his tape. Like, I really like the kid. Like, if they redshirt him, if we draft a rookie, Richardson, Levis, and he gets a redshirt year, I hope to God Mike White starts, just because I think he's a blast from the past. He's fun to watch. He almost beat us until he got his arm blown up.
Too bad he gets
on
hurt
Thursday
every 4
night.
weeks.
Probably so.
But
Okay.
real quick here, Anthony Roberts says because if the Raiders don't want him, then for sure don't bring him to Indianapolis. I think this is crazy. If a team doesn't have a quarterback right now, Lamar Jackson should be at the top of your list. Point blank, period. If
Absolutely.
if you're not in the top 5 and you don't have a quarterback, you should want Lamar Jackson on your roster. So the fact that people may not want him is just absolutely insane to me. You may not want to deal with his late injuries that he's had, or maybe the big contract that he wants, but there's no way in hell you don't want Lamar Jackson.
I'm going to caveat off of that, right?
All he does is win.
Because a lot of people wanted to bash on me earlier on that fucking heavy on Colts or whatever. That the people that follow that group are so insane. They were like, they bashed me because I said when Lamar's healthy, he's a top 5 rusher and a top 5 passer as a quarterback.
Absolutely. The stats prove it.
The stats prove it.
And the game tape shows it.
The game tape. And everybody wants to sit here and be like, Lamar's not a top 5 passer. Why? Because you've read media articles, because you've sat there and you've listened to everyone bash this guy for the last 4 or 5 years. You haven't had the time or the knowledge, or you're too stuck in your ignorance to go and watch the kid play.
And the worst offensive coordinator in the league. And I challenge any of you to name me the 4 receivers on that roster he was throwing to.
Hollywood Brown.
Not there.
Not on the team no more.
Hasn't been there in 2 years.
Rashard Bateman.
Really?
Been hurt.
Sammy Watkins.
Marquise somebody.
Sammy Watkins ain't there anymore. He was
Yeah,
there.
he went with the Green Bay and then re-signed. He got cut by Green Bay and re-signed with
Either way, the point to put it
the point's proven.
To put it to Damon's answers, you can't name a receiver that closed that season out.
No, he's not had proper weapons.
Mark Andrews is the only weapon that he has.
Yeah, he's not had proper weapons
for half the year.
And he's not even a top tight end in the league, in my opinion.
That
he wouldn't be without Lamar.
That Mark Andrews Hayden Hurst combo was lethal.
Yeah.
if you only have it for a year. Or no, they came out the same year.
Yeah.
I just really hate this whole Lamar hate. Like, he's hurt all the time. He's hurt all the time because the dude feels like he's got to do everything.
Yeah, we can't see him throw it deep. We can't see him
Everything.
consistently throw because he doesn't have any legit weapons.
But I'll make it a point that when he does,
Right,
he is
right.
on point.
Look how good
Right.
Mark
Every
Ingram.
time.
Look how good Mark Ingram looked behind him.
Yeah.
Mark
Yeah,
Ingram's career was revitalized.
My whole point to Anthony's thing there is like, say the Indianapolis Colts are going through their draft, and we go through 1, 2, and somebody else jumps us at 3. If we end up with Will Levis being as our option or trading for Lamar, please, by God, trade for Lamar.
Trade
Give up
for
those
Lamar.
2 picks and give Lamar that goddamn contract. Because if you put Lamar Jackson and this offense between an offensive line that if you put a mobile quarterback back there, they'd look a lot better. You put Lamar Jackson as Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman Jr. He has receivers. He has a 6'7" Jelani Woods at tight end with Mo Ali Cox and Kylan Granson. Please, by all means, this team would be ready to roll.
This is my opinion on Lamar. I don't think Lamar wants guaranteed money.
No,
I really think Lamar only wants to get out of Baltimore.
I don't disagree with
Well,
that.
I don't think people. I think people are saying the contract he wants. He's not going to have much of a choice.
He wants a fully guaranteed deal.
He does want a fully guaranteed deal. I did read that.
I mean, to the point of how much money he wants. I mean, even if you look at it now, the Browns are already restructuring Deshaun Watson deal, so they made it to where they could even change up some of his money. So those guaranteed deals, even at a certain point, won't feel guaranteed. So
I would give it to Lamar because, I mean, Kirk Cousins did it first. He got a fully guaranteed deal from Minnesota twice.
Listen,
and a guy franchise tag,
and another guy who likes his butthole played with, he got a fucking guaranteed deal, and he was facing charges.
Cousins got a 3-year guaranteed million or a 3-year guaranteed fully guaranteed deal.
Let's not even talk about Cousins. Let's talk about the guy that was literally facing charges.
Supposedly, Deshaun Watson was better than Lamar at the point that Lamar was at his current stage versus the last.
Lamar had an MVP.
No,
yeah,
I don't think. I don't think.
I'm saying that's what people were saying for the whole Lamar versus Watson scenario.
Deshaun Watson was getting carried by DeAndre Hopkins. Every time that dude just threw the ball up, it didn't matter where that ball went. DeAndre Hopkins was catching it.
I wouldn't say all that.
I would watch the tape.
Deshaun Watson made us.
With DeAndre
Watson was good.
Deshaun Watson tore us apart.
We didn't have a secondary.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, we didn't. But who did they have a receiver when they did DeAndre Hopkins?
Greg Toller was covering D-Hop.
I mean, that boy was still good though.
Yeah, I wouldn't take all the way. But Lamar's better.
I'm not saying Deshaun Watson's trash.
Say Lamar is better, but that boy Deshaun Watson was the dude before he was playing with his butt. Whatever.
Yeah, before he decided to get masseuses to give him that deep tissue massage.
So Anthony, just to that point there, I think we all would take Lamar Jackson if that's what it came to. I don't see why anybody wouldn't want him to be your quarterback. I will say, just like John said down here, we really don't want to deal with the injuries and the contract. But if we need a quarterback, you got to go get that guy.
I'll say this: he's not my first choice. He's not.
I don't think he's any of ours. To be clear,
it's a possibility if it comes down to the situation. Then I would take Lamar Jackson. But he's not my first choice. So
and then John also asked here: is McGlinchey going to walk from the Niners? Yes, they are letting McGlinchey test out free agency, and that's why he was in.
He's going to get huge money.
Brock. You said, who are we drafting at QB? I don't know if we're going into that too much tonight. I think we all got our opinions on that and kind of want to get back into our war room. I think we're all pretty pissed that Carolina jumped us. But from our opinion, I'll just tell you, we all want to move up to 3 so we at least have the chance to pick from the latter QBs that don't get taken.
So that's one of my first moves in the offseason. All right, so my first one is clearly getting rid of Matt Ryan. I'm saving up that 17 mil, just like Zach. That's the first move. Matt Ryan and Nick Foles are gone, but my second move, I'm offering Arizona to swap the 4th and 3rd pick, and I'm offering them Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore wants to go ahead and play with his favorite coach of all time. Goodbye, Kenny Moore. You can go ahead and not cover tight ends in Arizona. How about that?
Hey, Anthony, please tell me why Ballard is overrated and needs to be fired. We'd really appreciate some context if you're just going to throw that out there. Anthony Roberts, what would you guys give for Lamar? It's not what would you guys give? They tagged him with the exclusive tag, so only thing you have to give up is 2 first-round picks.
It's a non-exclusive.
Or yeah, non-exclusive. You give up the 2 first-round picks, and Lamar is yours. You just have to give him the contract.
And Chris, we understand that. We understand how that works. It's just
Yeah, you
We
have to make
understand.
sure that Baltimore won't ask, so you have to give some kind of contract they are not willing to match. So. But it does just cost 2 first-round picks to get the door open.
I don't think Frank really said fuck Irsay and Ballard. Because here's the thing: Carolina is now saying they want to trade back.
They're open to it.
Bro, that is the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life.
And here's the thing: I don't see them trading back with Tennessee because, for one, Tennessee can't afford to give them back what they lost.
I mean, that makes it sound like they now are having almost like buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds exactly like what Frank Wright's coaching tenure was the last 4 years.
Facts.
Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that.
Well, we had a good week of practice. We talked about it, but it just didn't happen that way on Sunday.
It was a hell of a trade when we went for it, and then when we got there, we were kind of like,
we didn't know what to do with it. We panicked. We got
we
scared.
just chose to bring in a rookie QB, and we gave up his number 1 receiver.
You know
Not
what? We're
going
gonna go take a right guard here.
Makes
at
it.
number
Yep. Right.
one.
Hey Matt, Chris said he couldn't hear you when you said something. He said it went quiet.
Oh, yeah, we all understand how that works with having to trade the 2 first-round picks, and then Baltimore gets to match and all that. We know how all that works. We get it.
Yeah, there's not much negotiating.
That's a situation to where Baltimore just kind of screwed Lamar and screwed everybody else at the chance of getting Lamar. That's pretty much how that worked. Especially because they can also wait 5 days before they match that contract. And if they wait those 5 days, the offer that the team that offered Lamar, they get stuck with that cap hit for those 5 days. So they're kind of in a cap handicap for 5 days.
And that's why nobody has jumped at the bite. So speaking of that, you guys' first thoughts on it, because I was initially, obviously we're shocked by the trade. But my thing was, what was you guys' first reaction to the trade being done this early? Because typically you won't see something happen like this until draft night. What did you guys initially think when this trade went down? Obviously for the Panthers and Bears, and then for our Colts.
My literal first thought was, oh great, another move where Frank Wright can fuck it up.
Then how do you feel for Bears, Panthers, and Colts after that?
My thought was, well, the Bears fleeced the hell out of the Panthers. Fleeced the hell out of the Panthers. And then secondly, I was concerned because I was like, well, fuck, there goes CJ. To me, CJ Stroud is the best quarterback coming out in this draft.
Max Dugan.
Well, CJ Stroud's the best quarterback coming out in the draft, and I think he'll end up in Carolina.
Max Dugan's going to win a Super Bowl before CJ Stroud. Hot take.
For me,
our first choice was CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud. Yep, Chris. CJ Stroud was our first choice.
For me,
yeah, go ahead, finish that.
Yeah, for me, it was almost the exact same as Zach was. There goes Stroud. But as I've read more into the Carolina side of things, and my best friend being a Carolina fan as well, and now hearing that they might even trade back, I think they want Levis or Richardson, man. And now they're realizing they're at number 1, and they don't need to be at number 1 to get one of those 2 guys because Houston and Indy are not wanting those 2 guys, I don't think. So that's what I think is actually the truth.
What's up, Kevin? Oh, man, Damon, that sounded like such a it's like when you're a kid and you're doing something wrong, and then you finally get there and you're doing it, and you're like, oh, shit, I didn't need to do this. That's just what it made it seem like to me you said that.
It's like the way this new generation does simple mathematics. They go all this extra steps, and they're like, this is easier, but you just did 15 extra steps than what we got taught.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. So my first initial thought was, wow, somebody actually made the trade. Because me, personally, I didn't think it was worth it. All of the Colts fans, Colts Nation, everybody's talking about, you need to trade up to 1 to go get your guy. And me personally, until I saw the trade, I think that Zach sent over, or one of you guys sent over, about the Niners trading with the Bears to go from 3 to 2.
Yeah, I sent you that trade. How much it cost?
Yeah, it was like a bunch of second, third round picks.
Yeah.
So I thought about that
Yeah.
price, and I was like, okay, that wouldn't have been terrible. But why would the Bears accept that if they getting 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, and a number 1 wide receiver? I just always thought it was going to cost too much to move. So I was sitting there thinking, like, wow, somebody actually did it. And then I looked at what they gave up, and I'm like, you fucking idiots, dude.
Yeah, listen,
guys got-
I don't care who you draft at number 1. There is not one person in this draft that was worth all that draft capital.
And that's what I've kept saying. Like, you cannot justify moving to number 1 for somebody to keep saying, you go get your guy no matter what
No.
it takes. That's retarded, bro.
Fuck, dude,
They have-
even in 1998, when everybody was preparing for the 1998 draft with Peyton Manning wouldn't have been worth all that draft capital before
No.
knowing what he became.
especially
Before
not if
knowing
you see the
what he
first reason.
became
Yeah,
coming out of
especially though you're
college,
going to go
right?
3-13 his rookie season.
You gotta think, before Peyton, when Peyton was a prospect, before his forehead grew 8 inches, he that's not who he was, right? He wasn't the Peyton that we all know and grew up on. He was just this college prospect
And
who
a
put
lot
his
of people had, and a lot of people had-
testicles on his trainer. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yo, that's alleged. All right, allegedly. All right.
But the point is,
I'm back again too.
yeah, the point is, the point is, these prospects, none of these prospects are ever worth that much capital. You don't know what you're getting out of them. You don't.
Yep, exactly. And so that's why I kept trying to say you can't justify that. And so I was sitting there thinking, like, you got right now, they currently have 3 quarterbacks on their roster that they're not going to use. You're going to draft another quarterback. You just gave up your number 1 receiver. They have no other receivers that are liable. You got a shit ton of work to do over there. And then you're bringing in a coach who just got fired. So it's like, to me, I was just like, after that, I was like, wow, I wouldn't have gave that up. And then the last thought was, oh shit. So which quarterbacks are we left with?
Here's the thing: there's 4 top QBs in this draft, and we can get one of them even at 4. Who's the 5th one?
Lamar Jackson.
I said in the draft, you turd.
Hey, I'll trade for him in this draft if we get stuck with Will Levis. I promise you.
I don't think we will, man. I don't think we will. I think it's going to be Bryce and CJ going 1 and 2.
I highly doubt.
And we're going to have our choice between Levis and Anthony Richardson.
Chad, I'm sorry I can't get that for you right now. I'd have to look it up.
Here, I'll look it up right now.
Right. So yeah, just like Matt just said, so me personally, just from the rumors and stuff that I've heard and seen around or whatever, whoever was trading up, I guess the rumor was before the trade happened, somebody put it out that it was the Colts, the Titans, and the Panthers who were all pitching to trade up to number 1. I highly doubt the Colts were in it, but this was just a rumor, and Carolina happened to be the front runners.
1 second. Carolina's sitting at 22 mil.
22 mil. I guess they could go after Paris Campbell to add for a rookie, but I mean, that still doesn't give them enough. Yeah, there you go, though, Chad. So those were the 3 teams, and they were actually right about Carolina being the front runners. And what was it? And then they were favored to want Bryce Young. So my thing is if they want Bryce Young or they want Anthony Richardson, one of those guys are going to come off the board first. And then I think Houston wanted Bryce Young. So I wouldn't see them trading back. I think they'd just take CJ Stroud. So that would leave Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, or Will Levis left on the board after 4. Unless the Cardinals decide to trade out, and then we're really fucked. So that's why I think getting to 3 has to be the move there. But that's what that was.
So Kevin Shelton says Richardson. I hope we don't get Will. Rick Ackerman asks, y'all think anything on Hooker? I don't
bring up Hooker and Stinson Bennett. Anybody over 24, don't bring up to Matt.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of drafting somebody who, spent 7 years in college, 25 years old.
Coming off a massive knee injury, too.
Off of a massive knee injury. Stetson Bennett, fine, I guess. I mean, later on in the draft if you want to, but Hooker's coming off of an ACL, and those aren't fun. So He's also 25, so his knee is not going to heal the same way as if a 21-year-old were to tear their ACL. So,
The Colts did have a meeting set up with him today, though.
Yes, they did.
yeah, that's probably for like a 4th-round pick option type deal.
So that was what I had to explain to you guys. We're gonna take some receiver who we never heard of after we trade back from 4, and then we're gonna draft another Ben Bannigan.
I told you to take that back.
We're gonna take another Ben Bannigan at like 24, and then we're gonna take Hendon Hooker in the 2nd round.
I told you to take that back.
Hell yeah, bro.
That was my,
Championship.
You know
that
what?
was
I'm done.
that was my Ballard scenario to go ahead and trade back. We just lost.
Championship. Hell yeah.
Oh, but man, no. So man, I was so high on Hooker. I actually thought he could end up being the Colts quarterback before the injury. After it, I kind of saw him dip to a 2nd-round pick. To answer you there, Rick, Kevin, we are a no university hating of quarterbacks podcast.
Nope.
We don't believe in the guys going to be good depending
Listen,
on which school he came from.
I watch film. I don't care what uniform they're wearing.
Yeah, so I mean, our guy would have been CJ Stroud, or would be if we could still have that top option.
10 years ago, you wouldn't have said that Nick Saban would have produced quarterbacks, and now he's producing quarterbacks.
They just roll out of Alabama.
Yeah, now they're producing quarterbacks. So I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, well, Ohio State doesn't produce quarterbacks, blah, 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 because it can happen at any moment.
Oh. Yeah, so that was where I was at with that whole draft scenario. I thought it kind of killed us there. But yeah, man, I'm ready for free agency to see what we do to get things opening up. I hope we keep Paris Campbell.
The first announcement is going to be Paris Campbell.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Better be.
it's going to be the first announcement.
No, the first announcement better be they cut Matt Ryan, they release Nick Foles, and then after that,
I'll settle for that one if it's not Campbell.
But isn't Nick Foles a free agent? Wasn't he only on a 1-year $9 million deal?
2 years, $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Something
trash!
stupid.
Cut that stupid shit. Yeah, fuck out of
Something
here.
stupid. 2 years that we should have gave Chris Reed.
Oh, yeah.
Goddamn, bro.
Or even Glow.
That one hurts.
Or even Glow.
Yo, Matt Ryan wouldn't be so hurt, and we wouldn't be hating on him so much.
Yeah, yeah.
We probably still be hating that guy.
Nah. I'm sorry. Chris Reed would have made all the difference, in my opinion.
Hopefully, if Matt Ryan wasn't standing in the pocket throwing picks.
The picks wasn't the problem. The fumbles.
Yeah, the fumbles were the problem for
He
sure.
was fumbling the balls on halfback draws.
Yeah, that too.
This man couldn't even take the snap in week 1. I don't know what's going on, bro.
Yeah, try being at that game, dude. I was like, this is not the Colts team I thought.
No, I just remember the one where we were down to the Jags like 24-0. He's standing in the pocket. He throws the ball, and it's just straight to a Jags defender. And I was just like, what the fuck is bro doing? What is this?
Back to
It's like-
free agency, Ellinger or sign a veteran backup other than White, any of the
Ellinger.
top options.
Ellinger.
Ellinger, my opinion.
Tyrod.
No,
Zach
Mike White,
wants
bro.
Zach wants Mike
Mike
White.
White. I want that White Lightning
I'm
in the
done.
Colts uni,
I'm done with you.
please.
So I just want to let everybody know I'm not on the Mike White train. I think that'd be a waste of money to go get
I'm
that
done
guy.
with y'all.
I like Erlinger to just stay there, be our backup quarterback. Now
I'm gonna ask this. Hold on,
for
real
a
quick.
veteran with experience.
I'm gonna ask this real quick, right? Y'all complaining about us signing Nick Foles to a 2-year, $10 million deal, but now you guys want to go out and get a Mike
No,
White?
don't say you guys. This is
Hell
Zach.
yeah. He can
Tyrod.
move. He can run.
Tyrod Taylor, bro. It makes
Y'all.
sense.
All right, now I can say y'all. I took DeMarco out.
Every
Y'all.
time Tyrod Taylor is someone's backup, what happens?
He gets a punctured lung, and they end up being pretty
Yeah.
good.
Guess who was working for what's it called? The Chargers whenever Tyrod Taylor
Yeah,
was there.
sure. Yeah,
Shane.
sure. Okay, we're
It's
reaching.
gonna
here.
happen.
We're reaching here. No.
Bro,
Tyrod Taylor was already good. He was already.
Give me
not
that
decent.
White
He wasn't
Lightning.
good, but he
Give
was
me
decent.
Mike White just for like a
Give me-
1-year, 2-year deal.
Give me nobody
It's
and
not
just
gonna
draft me.
last
Hold
a
on.
year.
Give me nobody and just let me draft someone who's not going to get fucking hurt.
Chad Kelly.
Quit being a pussy.
Chad
and
Kelly.
Play the
Chad
game of
Kelly.
football.
Chad Kelly.
That dude ain't taken a snap in like 4 years.
Bro, you remember when the whole Colts fan base wanted to start Chad Kelly?
After 3 preseason games, and
Yeah, because he ran 25 yards for a touchdown.
he was lighting it up in preseason.
They
I'm
did
not
the
gonna.
No, he
same
wasn't.
thing,
He had
they
a
did the
rushing
same thing when
touchdown.
Sam
he was-
ran that rushing touchdown.
Sam looked good. Sam did look good the preseason. I'd be darned to say.
Sam did, and then he played.
Yeah, when
he
he was
played
playing-
Washington and learned, oh, this is what a first defense
He
looks
looked
like.
good
He
when he was
looked
playing
good,
against the XFL players.
He did not look that bad against Washington. I will
He-
stand by that though.
He looked like a mobile Matt Ryan.
He looked better than Matt Ryan.
He did in the
A
preseason.
little bit. A little bit. A little bit.
In the
A little
preseason.
bit. If we wouldn't have lost by 1 point if he was better than Matt Ryan, we still put up our average points per game. So
That was a
16?
goodness. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go back to that game. Michael Pittman with the huge drop over the middle at the end of that game.
I remember that.
Sam Ellinger threw a literal
A
drop
dime.
throw
A
over
dime.
trailing linebacker past the safety, and Michael Pittman Jr. dropped it. Stephon
Hey, is
Gilmore
that the game where I
absolutely
blamed, where like y'all got mad because I blamed Gilmore and said dude got out jumped by
Yeah, that was that
Me and
game.
you both
McLaurin,
did,
yeah.
and everybody got mad at us. I
Yeah.
said that too, and they're like, "Stephon
Yeah.
Gilmore." I'm like, "How can he not?" My final disposition.
Yeah,
How
but
can he
the
not blame
problem,
Stephon Gilmore?
the problem on that game though is we had a debate, and me and Matt were trying to explain to you guys there's no reason that your offense shouldn't be able to move the ball a yard on 3 downs, and you guys kept
Facts.
saying Stephon Gilmore, it was his fault because he gave up the play. I'm like, your offense should end the game. Your defense shouldn't have been back on the field.
How many games did we rely on Stephon Gilmore to close it out?
Two.
All four that we won.
Yeah, all 4 that we won, and you guys get mad at him for the one that
Zach,
we
Fuck yeah.
lost.
Fuck
Zach,
yeah.
you're gonna love that. Ready?
Fuck yeah.
Here you go. Here's a question: If he didn't catch that ball, would we have won the game?
Who?
Sure. But if Michael Pittman
No,
would
no,
have caught the ball, we
no,
would have
Wait,
had
wait.
no
Y'all
chance.
answer the question. Y'all
No,
answer the
no,
question.
I'm
I did. I
answering
said
the
sure.
question. No,
If he doesn't,
Washington would have won on a Hail Mary on the next play.
come on.
Easy. That's like Taylor Heineke shit. No way.
No,
No
it's
way.
not Taylor Heineke. It's Indianapolis shit. It's just, it's just that happens to us, bro. We always lose on the worst possible stuff. It's just something that would have happened.
Yeah, like Stephon Gilmore getting beat on a Hail Mary throw.
Mhm.
I mean, like Stephon's old, so I get it. But at the same time, he played at an all-pro level last year, in my opinion.
Rated as a
So-
top 10 corner.
You know, we have a motto in our office, and it's players fuck up. All right. So every once in a while, someone gets that spot where they mess up. All right. Listen,
Sometimes it ain't your down.
yeah,
Nope. And that's
I mean,
the
Terry
Trevor Cardinal.
McLaurin's arguably a top 5 court or
Hey,
top 5
DeMarco.
receiver.
your boy's talking about McKee. All right. That's your boy, right?
Talking about my guy, man. My guy, Mickey.
Andrew Luck 2.0.
Andrew Luck 2.0.
Hey, so Mark, the reason we're laughing here is because anytime somebody asks what quarterback we're gonna get, I make a joke and I say Tanner Mackey. This is my first go-to guy because this guy was supposed to come out. He was supposed to be like top tier elite. Didn't turn out to be that guy in the tough Stanford team, and the only thing that was elite about him was his accuracy. So I'm not too sure on his height, but he's a guy
He's
we
the
could take
white
in the 6th
Jordan
round.
Love.
He's a guy we could take in the 5th round, 6th round, something like that. I know Matt had a proposal as well. He was thinking about, something like if we drafted an Anthony Richardson or a Will Levis, that we
I'm still with that too.
we take like a Max Duggan or somebody like that in the later rounds. So we might pull a Washington and draft 2 QBs.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm okay with, let's say we draft like a AR-15 round 1, and then let's say round 6 rolls around or round 5 rolls around, because I'm pretty sure we have 2 5th-round picks. We don't have a 6th-round pick.
And
Yeah,
two
7th
We have
round.
2 7s.
Yep.
So let's say one of those 5th-round picks, let's say Stetson Bennett is sitting there. Do you not take that opportunity to maybe take him again?
You
That's
do,
young.
and then you put him at slot receiver.
That's young Drew Brees right there.
Or
Doug Flutie.
or let's say I mean maybe Max Duggan drops to the 5th.
I
You
think
take
he will.
that guy in the 5th,
I think he is going
right?
to.
I would take Duggan over pretty much every other quarterback left outside top 4.
I'll tell you this though.
100%. I'm just saying, if one of them guys are there, do you take them in the
I'm
fifth?
not taking Bennett. Stetson
Give me
Bennett
young
is like
Drew Brees.
chaos.
No, that's young Drew Brees.
If Dougie doesn't end up in if he doesn't end up in Dallas, he's gonna end up in New England, man.
His off the field stuff is why I don't want Stetson Bennett. Like
his
all right, Ballard. Stuff? All right, Ballard.
Yeah,
all
man.
Right,
I mean, no way. Like he was carried.
Listen, I don't care.
Ray Lewis championships and was carried.
Ray Lewis murdered someone, got away with it, and I'd still take him in Indy in a heartbeat.
Me too. Ray Lewis is Hall of Famer. Stetson Bennett is a dude who got drunk on Good Morning America.
Ben Roethlisberger had his way in the bathroom, and I'd still take him in a heartbeat.
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I'll take Marvin. He shot some dude with 2 guns ever made.
Listen, Edgerrin James went from gold teeth to gold jacket. Where do you think he got those gold teeth from? It sure as hell wasn't from $1 million industry.
Hey, let me get them teeth on me.
I don't know. I'm just not a fan of Stetson Bennett. I do not want Swaggy P or whatever the hell he calls himself.
Me
anywhere near the Colts.
I'm just saying this whole character thing is what's holding us back from being in contention.
Well, I agree with that. There's some truth to that.
We made Zach mad.
Why'd he leave?
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? Zach got so mad he left to fix his hat.
Oh, my internet crash.
We said you have your hat on like T.I.
Oh, no. I'm trying to cool off at my house.
Hey, I would take T.I. in a heartbeat, man. Put that boy at slot. I bet he'll do some things.
Hey, he can motivate the team.
Yeah.
But
oh, God.
That
was a good laugh. That was a good laugh, man.
Good times.
He said, "Don't think he'll be there in the 6th round." I think he.
Bro, hold on. So not gonna lie, I had a mock draft I did the other day when the 5th round rolled around. It was that 2nd, 5th pick. I picked the first 5th. There were 3 QBs there. They were the top people on the list. And then I go to the 5th spot again. and the 5th spot, or in the 5th round, the 2nd 5th round pick was another like 2 or 3 quarterbacks. I literally had a list of 6 quarterbacks in the 5th round. I was like, what the fuck is this? You telling me to take 2 quarterbacks?
They had I did that one last night. And they had Max Duggan going undrafted, dude.
Yeah.
I
haven't seen him drafted in one of them yet.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, he's going to be Mr. Reliable number 2.
Brock Purdy number 2.
Yep, Brock Purdy number 2, but he's going to actually take him to the Super Bowl because he knows how to win.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I for sure thought he'd be at the latest a 4th round.
How did he do at the combine? I didn't hear shit on him besides his 40.
I didn't see Max throw. I don't think he did he?
Yeah, he didn't throw.
Because he has that shoulder injury, right? I think it was, or something like that, or some type of like light shoulder. He didn't throw. A lot of guys did not throw at the combine. It was really weird.
It was weird.
They're saving it for the pro day, which I think that
might. Dorian Thompson, and they had some other dude that was throwing ducks out there too.
Did you watch Dorian Thompson throw? I feel bad. I feel really bad, man, because that dude was slammed between Stroud and Richardson. Imagine that, dude. Imagine that.
He got some power though. He threw the I think he had the most miles per hour on his throws.
He did.
But dude needs some major work though. He is not a polished passer at all.
I'm gonna step away from QBs real quick. The one person that really impressed me in the combine that's not a quarterback, since that's all we talk about anymore is quarterback.
Georgia?
No, boy out of Texas, Robinson. That dude had a hell of a combine.
Bijan?
Yes. Did you see his off-tackle drill?
Mm-hmm.
That shit had me thinking JT every step of the way, dude. This dude's cuts is so pristine and quick and just, oh, my goodness.
His cuts were smooth.
Yes.
Smooth as hell.
I think
Smooth as
he's.
hell.
I think he's gonna go high. Like I think he's gonna go
They
mid
got
round
him.
one.
They got him projected as a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
That
and
dude
I
is a
wouldn't.
monster.
And
running
imagine.
back in the top 10?
They got him projected to the Eagles right now.
Oh my goodness.
That would be disgusting. I hope not. I hope
They
they
just-
take
Imagine him and Jalen Hurts in the same backfield.
Bro, that would
Miles
be
Sanders.
Ugh.
Miles Sanders just went for 1,300 yards and 20 touchdowns.
B. John gonna go for 23 and 26 touchdowns.
Oh, they have Boston
Bro.
Scott. They have Boston Scott looking like Brandon Jacobs out there. Ahmad Bradshaw.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that dude a legal midget? Is he not like 5'3" playing ball?
A legal midget is 4'11.
Either way, is he not like a legal midget playing ball?
That's Deuce
Like
Vaughn.
Boston Scott? I mean, the dude's good as hell, but
No, I thought that was Kyler Murray.
no, the combine. They had some legal midget from Kent State show up.
You talking about Deuce
Registered,
Vaughn?
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about Deuce Vaughn.
Yeah, he was on like 5'2" or whatever, and
And his
showed
his
up.
vert
and
his
Whoa,
vert
whoa,
was
whoa!
like top
Keep
5
cool,
in the
bro.
back.
He was 5'5".
Either way, he had like a 41-inch vertical leap or whatever, and like
He's probably got no weight. He's got to pull up when he jumps.
He's still like 180, bro. And that I
Yeah,
know it
that's
doesn't sound
like-
like a lot, but that dude's. Did you see what he did to Alabama?
That's
I
like,
mean,
that's like
he's like the shortest person ever measured in the combine and balled out combine week. So
He went for about 200.
back.
He went for about 200 in Alabama, man.
yeah,
The dude's no joke.
Yeah, but they had to keep him in space though, because every time he got hit, he was falling over. He little guy. Can't be little, man. It's tough being little in there. Chad said Muggsy Bo at running back.
Basically, not
Fucking
taking,
Rudy out in this motherfucker.
not taken away from his skill set, though.
Muggsy Bo had bunnies.
Yes, he did.
Bounce. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that linebacker out of Georgia.
You're talking about the one that ran the 4.39. He sat out second
Oh,
half of the
number-
season.
oh, he- number
he
9.
got hurt in the
That's what I
Florida
thought.
game. The Florida game, he got hurt.
I know.
yeah,
I
he's
know
the
he
one
was
that
out.
said he's the best pass rusher in the league in the
Oh yeah,
combine coming out.
I'm talking about if this dude gets healthy.
Yeah,
If he goes late, whoever gets him is
Yeah.
getting a steal. I'm forgetting his name right
I
now.
don't know his name. I'll check.
Fucking
boy's
just
a
draft him
baller.
at 4. We don't know the quarterback.
I'm telling you, it would not be a miss. I'm telling you, we could put him at quarterback and running back and defensive end. I mean, this guy, when he got hurt out of that Florida game, I was like, oh, thank God he's done for the night. Like that's the kind of player he
Hey,
is.
is it that Neil kid?
Neil.
I'll tell you right now who it is.
Jordan Davis. It's not Jordan Davis.
Nolan Smith. It's Nolan Smith. That's what it is.
There it is.
Nolan
Nolan Smith.
Yeah, that boy Nolan Smith.
4.38 at 4.38, 250 pounds.
I'm telling
Oh,
you,
you don't want to meet that in the hole at full speed. No,
dude
sir.
is a monster. Yeah, that was one of my combine freaks right there. I think if he gets healthy and goes to a team late round, like I'd hate
Just
to
a-
see him.
Just to touch on this, I don't know if y'all watch a lot of the DBs, but they said the DB room is not getting talked about enough. That was a excellent combine.
Me and Zach been
Bro,
going at it with the DBs.
You got
We had a
guys
list
that are
of them.
Christian
legitimate.
Gonzalez,
Clark
that kid from
Phillips,
Utah that
Florida.
y'all are
The kid from
nuts
Florida.
about.
The Clark Phillips is my guy. I like a lot.
Yeah.
And Clark
kid
Phillips,
from,
as good as Clark Phillips is, he's one of the later guys in this DB.
Yeah.
It makes no
That
sense
kid from
to me.
Illinois,
It's crazy.
who DeMarco really likes, he's studly. There's a bunch of them. I mean,
And
the
then
DB
my guy Kylie Ringo from Georgia,
yeah.
they got him as the 5th defensive back in this class, and he
Julius
was one of the top
Brents?
guys.
Julius Brents from
I
Kansas
didn't
State.
even, I didn't
Julius
even know
Brents,
about Gonzalez until the draft that Zach was telling me about.
Yo,
He
he's
said
the best
he-
DB in the
he's
country.
the best DB in the country. Yeah, apparently I didn't even know about him. I'm like,
Who's our
God
guy
damn.
from Miami? Our guy from Miami too.
Hey, we appreciate that, Mark, man. He said you guys are funny as heck and brutally honest. I love it. We appreciate that, man. We try to be
We try to be
authentic as
different.
possible.
We try to be
receive-
different.
Authentic
Receiver,
as
though?
possible.
Yeah, receiver though, I wasn't impressed. And I'm not impressed by receiver in this year's draft
That's
at
that
all.
Stevenson kid from Miami you're talking about, right? That
Yes,
DB?
it is.
He's
Yes.
a 3rd-round pick.
See,
And
Zach told me about him. I still haven't got to his tape yet.
he's super physical, but you can beat him deep. And once you get on, like once he gets past you, you get past him, he's not catching you because he has no speed. But if he can press
that's
you and
tough,
put your
man.
hands on you, he's Studley.
So would you say?
That kind of sounds like Richard Sherman.
I was gonna say, would you say
It's-
pro comp like Richard Sherman or like more like Brandon Browner?
Well, he's 6'4", bro.
It's like
So
Brandon Browner.
Brandon
yeah,
Browner. Yeah, that sounds like. Yeah, that's a But yeah, there's a lot of DBs in this class. My guy Witherspoon out of Illinois.
Illinois, he's a
this.
monster.
That boy finna be like Sauce on the lock and the man-to-man schemes.
I think he plays safety at the next level. I don't know if he plays corner.
Think so?
He tackle. He's a killer.
I think he's too good man-to-man though to isolate him and move him to safety. Like when you can put him on a receiver and just pretty much take somebody away.
Just do what they did with Brian Dawkins. Free safety.
Move him around, move him everywhere.
Around.
Yeah, I like that. I could like that. That's not bad.
I do too.
I mean, that's my comp. That's literally who you.
I think Chad. I think Chad wants us to stop agreeing.
Not tonight. Maybe the war room will do this. But I think tonight we're on the same. I think tonight we're on the same page. We all came in with the same opinion on Paris, and that was going to be the debate. So
I don't really. We just got a name tossed in there. Zach, you heard of that one? William Speakman.
I can look it up. Let's see.
From where?
There's also my guy out of Michigan that ran that four.
Trey Turner, dude.
Huh?
Trey
Turner.
Yeah,
dude. I'm telling, bro. There's so many DBs in this class. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but they all look good in shorts. Don't mean nothing until they get on the field.
I'm talking about on the film though. On the film, they look good too. Though. Yeah, not just. I'm not just talking about combine. I don't. The only thing I look at the combine is running back quick twitch, linebackers quick twitch, 40 times. I try and see receivers, their ability to catch and stay lateral, balance, stuff like that. And then QBs, I just want to see comfortability because you're really going to be uncomfortable with guys you've never thrown with before.
Speaking of, everybody who's up on Will Levis, that man was the most uncomfortable person I saw at the combine.
I'm telling you, boy, you're going to be. I thought he was going to be good. No.
Everybody out there was sitting there saying that he had a great combine, but the whole time, all I saw was a guy who looked so uncomfortable.
Overthrowing everybody.
He felt the pressure of being in a combine and being watched. All eyes on him.
That's my question. But how much do you value the combine? Because I put no. Other than Richardson being a freak, I don't value the combine.
I got that. But when you can see specifically in someone's face that they are uncomfortable and they feel the pressure, that's a note you need to write down. Because what's going to happen on Sunday when that guy those lights are glaring down, he's got 62,000 fans screaming. You know what I'm saying?
When you got 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the clock, you're on your 45-yard line, and you're facing the best defense in the league, and you got to go make a play. What are you gonna do? Will Levis was looking like he was gonna airmail some shit.
Yeah, and all he had was about 56 people in the stands. That was about it.
And there's two quarterbacks in the draft that have done that and can do that, and that's Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Anybody else has not dealt with that. Both of those players have torched Georgia with the number one defense.
That's literally why I think Anthony Richardson's stock went up, was because he made himself he just blocked everything out and just balled out and said, you know what? They don't think I can throw. They don't think I can hit these throws. I'm going to hit every single one of these throws. I'm not going to miss a beat.
He looked like, to me, when he came in throwing, he looked like, I'm going to show everybody here that I'm the best quarterback here.
Yeah, I think that helped him out too.
I think it also went to CJ Stroud. He just went to go say, hey, look, I'm just going to prove I am the guy I am. And I looked at Stinson Benton, and it just looked like to me he's going to show you like, hey, I'm confident in my ability and I could throw with the best of them. And Will Levis just kind of looked like, I'm trying to fit in here. That's what I took from it. I wouldn't necessarily say I take it that it's going to work on Sunday, Zach, to answer your question. But I just think if that's the guy I'm looking at, I don't want to be looking at that guy on Sunday. Having to drive my team down.
Just want to give a shout out to Devin Newland. He says he's not a Colts fan at all. He's a Steelers fan, but he says this is really cool and he loves what we're doing here. Just want to say we appreciate that, man. You're welcome here at any time. We don't care if you're a Steelers fan, whatever fan you are. Invite all your friends out here, man.
Yeah, Steelers have our number.
Wanted to something Gary Stidham said. I will never be negative on my team. Just want to point out, it's never negative. We always want to be honest and critical. I mean, it's a part of being a fan.
Constructive criticism.
Exactly. It's never just to be a negative Nancy, because we don't like those. We always want to be positive, but at the same time, you have to be realistic.
If you can't handle negativity, you're soft. I mean, these guys are professional athletes. They get paid to put up production,
Oh
and
no,
if
no, no!
they
It's not
can't,
even
It's not
just
that.
athletes. Not even just athletes, Zach.
I'm talking athletes. All right, I'm not. I mean,
Listen, I'm gonna say it like this because I agree with Zach. When it comes to players, right? You're in a league where you're taking hits all day. If you can't take words, you shouldn't be on the field. But here's the thing,
thank
coaches
you.
too. Coaches too. Coaches should be able to have that thick skin because guess what? You've been hearing it since you've been coaching high school. High schools have your local radio, you have your local people that are gunning for your head, all those things. Like I live out here in Texas, man, and Damon can probably vouch for me. It's probably the same way down there. These people out here are crazy about their high school football.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally live a block away from the high school out here, Princeton High School. They're not good. They're not good at all. But I guarantee you, I can hear that stadium bumping on a Friday night.
And it's
Like,
full
and
every
it's full
Friday.
every Friday night. The homecoming parade blocked off every street in my neighborhood, and they had a parade. It's crazy. So these coaches, they're hearing it since they were in high school. So they should be able to take it by the time they get to the NFL. So Zach, I 100% agree with you.
I mean,
In certain fields,
Yeah,
yeah,
you need to have thick
I was
skin, and the
I was
football is
talking
one of
about
them.
the negative part. Like Matt, me and you have been in some group texts that was like, "Oh, you're
Oh,
being negative just because you're saying something that's
yeah.
constructive criticism." I think that was the point that
People
I was trying to
people
make.
come at me. People come at me all the time because I'm a guy that likes to critique things. I'm a critiquer before I'm a praiser. I don't like to
Mhm.
praise things if I see something wrong.
I don't want to take makeup and put it on a pig and call it
Yeah.
cute.
You can go ahead and give me 80% of good football in a game, but that 20% is going to be what I'm coming at you for, and I'm going to correct it
and that
because I
20%
want
loses games.
yes, because I
Like,
want that. I want that 100%. I don't care.
right.
I don't. It's great that let's say we had an 80-20 game and we won. That's cool. But guess what? That 20% could have lost us that game. So this is what we're going to work on Monday morning. Like
Exactly.
I'm that's just how I am. It's nothing about being negative and saying these dudes are trash, whatever. I root for Colts day in, day out. It's just sometimes I'm very critiquing. Ask these guys. They've been with me for 2-3 years. And I've literally bashed Frank Wright every step of the way until that man
Hey
got
man,
Mm,
fired.
anytime you love something, you shouldn't love it blindly.
Nope.
It's
And
just-
and even when Frank got fired, at the point that Frank got fired, I still didn't. I wanted him to be fired, but at that point, I was like, "There's no point in firing him." At that point, we should have just kept Frank the rest of the season and then
Mhm.
let him go at the end. But we did what we did, and it is what it is. But
Yep.
it's not the fact that we're being negative because we hate what we have here in Indy. It's just we're critiquers. It's what we do.
And that's also my bad, Devin. You were tagging William, and it looked like you were saying his name as a person, so I thought he was a player in college. But yeah, we appreciate you tagging William and bringing him in. And William is saying if we don't get Young or Stroud, just draft one of the top defensive players. We need a pass rusher bad. Um,
I think
I
that
wouldn't say it's tough to say I'm opposed to it, but man, we need a QB regardless of what the situation is. I mean, if we do take a pass rusher, we better be getting a guy in the second round quickly. That would just be my word to that. But if we get a top tier pass rusher that's a game changer, I couldn't necessarily say I'm totally mad at it, but I'd be pretty disappointed at not getting a first round QB.
Devin says with the Bears pulling off that trade with Carolina, how do you guys feel now about your fourth pick? Are you guys worried now about snagging a QB? We kind of touched on this earlier. We know you hopped in a little late, so I mean, yeah, we're all worried about what's going to happen at number 4. We all believe that we should move up to number 3, trade with Arizona, kind of swap that third, fourth pick, just to be able to secure one of the top 4 guys. We think that our decision is going to be between Will Levis and Anthony Richardson, with the opportunity of Lamar Jackson if it comes down to a Will Levis situation, because none of us really want Will Levis. But yeah, that's really how we feel about that, man. I'm okay with Anthony Richardson. About 2 weeks ago, we said that Anthony Richardson at number 4 would be a reach, and at this point, we think that if we're at number 4, we won't even get Anthony Richardson. So, yeah, how quickly things change.
Yeah, so Chad, trade to 3 to make sure you get that choice. So the idea to trade to 3 is if you potentially look at the quarterbacks that are going to fall off the board, you obviously think that Carolina's most likely going to take Bryce Young first. Houston would be absolutely silly to not take CJ Stroud at 2 which would then leave us to choose between Anthony Richardson and Will Levis at 3. And I think you have to go to 3 to make sure you get your choice there.
Mark, I don't really think it's that type of situation at this point. I think normally if we had a QB in position, yeah, you would take the best position available. But at this point, QB has got to be your number one priority. And at this point, it's looking like it's going to be pretty tough to be at number 4 and not have a quarterback. I mean, it's just going to be tough.
Chad, I'd swap picks, go 79 or not 79. My bad. I think it is 79, which will be our 3rd round pick,
And Kenny Moore,
and maybe a 2024 5th round pick or something like that.
Nah, I'm giving the 1st round, 3rd round, and Kenny Moore.
Matt's giving up Kenny Moore, so I'd go 5th round of 2024. But Matt said Kenny Moore, so it wouldn't be too much of a cost. I'd just say make sure you get that shit done.
Chandler, if it's between Levis and Richardson, I think we're on agreement. We're going to go Richardson.
Give me AR-15.
Yeah, he's clearly the better quarterback between the two. All Will Levis has is a strong arm, but there's a lot more that he has to work on than Anthony Richardson does.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like we got no other questions there, and Damon had to bounce out. Williams said, okay, it would suck to bridge gap a QB for a season, but would you rather have Richardson or Levis with whomever to take in the 2nd round, or a top pass rusher this year and then Caleb Williams next year?
I don't think Colts fans could handle another year to where we tank for a Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going number 1 overall next year. We would have to damn near win 1 game, 2 games this whole season to be able to get Caleb Williams. So in all reality, this fan base can't take another. Chris Ballard's seat's too hot to be able to take another tank season. Jim Irsay is not going to tank a whole nother season. We're in a prime position to get a quarterback now. When it comes to the bridge quarterback, I'll answer that real quick. We talked about that earlier. This is my idea on it. I think I talked to Zach about it. It was pretty early this morning. Between the two, between Will Levis and between Anthony Richardson, when it comes to bridging a quarterback, if we draft Will Levis is getting redshirted because that man's got too much mentally to develop. I think he's got all the arm strength in the world. I think his decision-making is a little debatable, and I think his ball placement is probably the worst out of the quarterbacks in the draft this year. When it comes to Anthony Richardson, I don't think you want to redshirt Anthony Richardson. A lot of people believe that mechanics don't fix overnight, and I understand that. People kept coming at my throat all week about it. But my take on that is mechanics develop with reps. And when you're only taking reps at practice, you're not getting hit. You're not getting pressured. You're not feeling those realistic reps that help you develop your footing. How are you able to properly break a sack and re-engage your footing to make a proper throw if you're not getting sacked? Anthony Richardson's that guy that can make the throws. He's good with decision-making. He's good with being able to run the ball if he has to. He can break out, make plays. He's not a guy you redshirt. He's a guy you let develop his mechanics in-game as the season goes on. And it just seemed like you're going to see it as the season progresses, that his mechanics are getting better and he's improving as a quarterback. This year is a developmental year. So if anybody thinks we're going to draft a quarterback this year and we're going to instantly go to the Super Bowl, you're nuts. You're smoking something, and I want some. But the thing is that this year's a developmental year. It's a developmental year for our head coach, who's a first-time head coach, a developmental year for a whole offensive coaching staff, because a lot of these guys are in positions that they haven't been in yet. It's a developmental year because of our scheme. So even our veterans are going to develop what they're going to need to do. So they're going to have to relearn a scheme, relearn a playbook, develop their game. This year's a developmental year. So you should just be ready for like I said earlier, I got us between 6 and 9 wins, most likely 7. If we get more than that, if we get a wild card, that's a successful season. If we get a 1 and done, that's a successful season. If we get 8 wins and we go 8 and 9, that's a successful season.
That's winning the fucking division right there.
Yeah, that's to me that's a successful season, no matter who we have under. And if that's the case, next year that just puts Ballard in that position to where, hey, you need to kick it up a gear, and you need to go ahead and bring in weapons for whatever rookie we have and build an offense around him so that we can go ahead and compete. That's what this year's for, to see how we go further.
Yeah, and real quick, just to answer what Chad was asking here and to go off of what Matt said. First of all, you don't tank for a wide receiver. That'd be clueless to tank for a wide receiver.
Yeah, don't make any sense.
As good as Marvin Harrison Jr. is, you don't tank for a wide receiver. Secondly, yeah, just to build off on that set there. So obviously the ranking would be CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Levis. And the reason, like, I'm a Gators fan, so I wouldn't necessarily say I have some bias here because me and Zach talked about this before. We obviously thought it would be a reach to take Anthony Richardson at 4 before everything happened. We thought he'd go somewhere in between the 8 to 15 range. This is where we saw him, what his talents was. He'd be a guy you'd looking to develop on top of what he can already do, big arm, mobility, and just let him grow. Now, in our current situation, I'm all in on taking Anthony Richardson if that's the guy that we have to choose from between him and Will Levis, because at this point, at least with Anthony Richardson, even though that first year, like Matt said, is going to be a completely development year. So even if we win 4 to 8 games, 4 to 9, somewhere in between there, this guy will bring excitement to your team. And so that's something that you could depend upon that we didn't have last year as a franchise. We had to watch this team barely score 13 points a game. This brings a new level of excitement. It brings a whole new level of passing ability that we didn't have last year. And then you just get to see a younger guy that we haven't seen in a while come in and play quarterback and look more lively for this team. Excitement, young guy. And I want to say he's one of the youngest guys in the draft. So you even have that much more time to work with this guy to develop him as a player, passer, and everything. And so that's where I'm at with that. And just like all the stuff that Matt described. I mean, I've seen this guy play, and he's only played 13 games in college. So, I mean, there's only room for growth for him. Guys nowhere near his ceiling. And think about our head coach who just came from working with doing the right quarterback.
So yeah, and Chad here says, so like Zach said, make those moves and save that extra cap for next season. I agree with that. The whole point this season is to develop what we have. I don't expect any splashes in free agency, right? We're not going to go out there. We're not going to go sign, Fred Warner if he gets released, which I don't think he is. I think it's
dude. If he gets really released, John Lynch needs shot.
No,
like,
who just a big name linebacker just got released. Leonard Floyd.
Bobby Wagner.
Leonard Floyd. But Bobby Wagner's old. But Leonard Floyd, don't expect us to sign those type of guys. Don't expect us to go sign Juju. Don't expect us to go sign OBJ, things like that. Expect us to keep in who we have. Expect us to re-sign Chase McLaughlin, EJ Speed. Expect us to re-sign Paris, things like that. It's going to be a pretty boring offseason. I hope you all just expect that. Expect us to have a pretty boring offseason when it comes to free agency. But where it's going to get fun is probably the draft, most likely. I think we all need to be realistic here.
Chad said other fans were saying tank for.
Yeah,
Chad,
I was getting there.
Okay.
When we get man, I'm in all those other groups, bro, and I see all the nonsense these fans are saying, and it's just. I even got into some people today. Half these people are just media readers, man, and then you just copy what the media says. None of these people have a thought for themselves. And I'm not sitting here hating on the fan base because we're all family. But a lot of people, they don't like to think for themselves. They like to see what other people say, and then they run with it, and they believe it. Like I got into it with a guy today who said Lamar Jackson is not a top 5 quarterback when healthy. And that, to me, that's insane. You're insane.
Dude's a top 5 winner in the history of the NFL.
That's facts. Like the dude wins games. He's got one of the highest winning percentages, even when
top
he's healthy.
5.
Top 5. He's got a higher winning percentage than Patrick Mahomes.
No.
Mahomes has a winningest percentage.
Yeah, Mahomes is the highest. Mahomes is the
is
highest.
80%.
Lamar Jackson is number 2. I think it was.
I knew it was up there somewhere. But yeah, you hear what I'm saying. It's higher than Tom Brady. I know that.
Tom Brady
is number 5.
Joe Montana and Dan Marino.
Yeah.
And William, I agree. There is no big name free agent that's going to want to come here, and that's the thing. You guys got to be ready because we need to get that quarterback stability first. If I'm looking future, there's going to be 2 quarterbacks in this draft. They're going to be able to draw free agents to this team. CJ Stroud, AR-15. Those are the 2 quarterbacks that are going to bring free agents here after their rookie season. It's not going to happen this season. Next season's the season where you get ready to build. This season's the season of development. That's all it is. All you're doing is you're watching. You're hoping for a win every time, but you're watching to see what these players are doing.
You just want to see what you look like without a statue being your quarterback.
Facts.
Yeah, old, like out of it. Zach, you want to chime in there? You got anything to say on this topic? I want you to fall asleep over there, buddy.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm boring you, Zach.
So I just want solid quarterback play. Like, my expectations are extremely low for the year. Though, I mean, I'm a pessimist Colts fan anyway. Like, y'all told me all year I had nothing positive to say. But I just want consistent improvement. You know, if they end up doing what they did with Kenny Pickett, I'll take it. Kenny Pickett sat the bench until from his bye week, and then from his bye week on, each and every week he got vastly better.
And all those games that he sat were the reason they didn't make the playoffs.
Right. Been games that he could have developed.
Absolutely. So if he does end up playing 18 games or 17 games, however many they play now, 17 games, Richardson ends up playing, or Levis, or whoever it is, whatever quarterback ends up playing under center for the Colts, I just want to see steady improvement. That's all.
Facts.
That's all. That's all I care about. I don't care about wins. I don't care about losses. I'm not concerned about a Pro Bowl. I don't give two monkey nuts about that.
Don't care about rookie of the year, none of that.
I'm not in for awards. I just want to see, he made the proper read, or, he didn't throw it into double coverage. He threw a pick last time. This time he tucks it and runs. That's all I want to see. And as long as he's doing that, then that at the end of this season coming up, I'll feel better. And then I'll be like, year 2, load up, go get it, spin.
I am going to say this. I'm going to answer Chad's question from earlier. He asked if we were going to have a draft party. That's something we're going to talk about on the side because I am actually thinking about this year for at least the first day for round 1 to at least have a draft party on round 1 because nobody cares about day 3 or 4. So maybe day 1, maybe day 2. If everyone's available, we'll have a draft party where we'll come live.
I would love to absolutely have a draft party, but I'm pretty sure the draft does start on a third. What the hell is that?
My bad, bro. Somebody just drove past my house acting fucking stupid.
I thought it was my headphones or something.
No.
But yeah, I would love to do that, but the draft is on a Thursday, and I do work. So,
but it's at like 8 o'clock at night.
Well,
it's a late
5 my time.
5 your time.
Yeah.
Well, so, we'll talk about.
I definitely. Either way, if we do it,
we'll talk about being on here.
I'll jump in. You guys will see me in my work clothes and whatnot. But
I might take a vacation day then.
Because I'll probably be on. Yeah, you might as well take a vacation day, bud.
You might take that Friday off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll be down. I'll be down.
But yeah, to answer Chad's other question, he says off topic, but what the fuck is up with Daniel Jones' contract? I think that's crazy, to be completely honest. And here's why. I'm gonna say it like this:
Who's contract?
Daniel Jones.
Contract.
Danny Dimes.
There's only
40 million.
There's only one quarterback in NFL history that has ever played more than 10 games in a season for multiple seasons and has thrown less touchdowns than games played, and that is Daniel Jones.
You said only one?
No, he's the only one. He's the only quarterback who's played more than 10 games in every season and has thrown less touchdowns than games played. Including the season where he played 16 games, he only threw 15 touchdowns.
That makes me depressed about my career path.
But that's the market,
man. No, that's not the market.
That's the quarterback market that he's in, unfortunately.
The average, hold on. No, it's not, because look at the average.
No,
hold on. Do you know who's getting paid the average right now?
Do you know who's average?
Jackson, 32 million is the average. That's not the 40 mil is not the market.
Right, but that's the market that he's in. He got that contract because how exacerbated the quarterback market is.
He forced it.
That's why I think they need to cap the quarterback market.
They could have easily paid that man 29 mil, 30 mil, and let that man walk. 30
Hey.
mil is drastically different than 40.
I would have let him walk, but that's
You-
why he got an agent. His
you know
agent just did his job, gets a gold star.
You know, in 2023, he's getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes
Yeah. I mean, that's a shit show. Yeah.
by about 4 mil. He's getting paid more than Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, Mahomes took a friendly
Yes.
deal and somehow got $500,000.
Now
or $500,000.
their
see
average
the-
salary, Patrick Mahomes is still making more by average salary, but this season Daniel Jones is gonna make more.
See,
And
I do
I want to say that I guarantee the Giants will not make the playoffs.
See, I do get what you're saying there, Matt, about that whole contract situation. I do get the other side of it as well, though, because it's like if you don't pay Daniel Jones, what ends up becoming your option? Then you end up with a quarterback who may potentially not even be in the middle tier.
Here's how I'll say it, because the way the situation went, they literally looked like Tennessee Titans. Tennessee did not pay Derrick Henry as much as he should have been paid. Instead, they paid Tannehill. And they
paid them both.
But they paid Tannehill more. They gave Derrick Henry a pay cut to pay Tannehill. I remember that whole situation that went down. Derrick Henry took a pay cut so that Ryan Tannehill could get paid. They should have paid Saquon Barkley and franchise tagged Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I think they wanted to franchise or to pay Daniel Jones because of the bigger number.
Yeah, their GM's a former Colt front office executive, that Bean kid. So he's not going to pay running back.
It still just doesn't make sense to pay
he wants
Daniel
to pay
Jones
Saquon
40
too.
mil.
Yeah, no,
Really?
I get what you're saying, Matt. I think that the thing for me is just like you don't want to be stuck in a quarterback limbo. So, it's like I think that maybe they figure they're better off with a quarterback that they're familiar with to keep rolling on.
I mean, I get
Because
that.
It's like a lot of the conversation that these people on TV that the media keeps having about Dak Prescott. And it's like, oh, are the Cowboys going to move on and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, why move on? And then
Who's
you get
better?
stuck with somebody. Yeah, it's exactly.
I'm not
It's
saying
like
move on from
everybody.
Daniel Jones.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like how the media drives it. They make it seem like these quarterbacks, you can just throw them out the door when they show you that they can be, somewhat average to good. And it's like, why just kick them out the door when it's like, if you're looking for a quarterback, you're in that purgatory of not being good. There's not too many teams good without.
I'm gonna answer Mark real quick too, because Mark says Daniel Jones is getting better every year and they will make the playoffs. Daniel Jones has not gotten better every year.
Well,
He got better with Daboll as head coach, bro. That's facts.
Go look at his stats. It's facts. He has not gotten.
I mean, his stats would say the same, but his play with Daboll as head coach, he's making better reads, smarter decisions.
It hasn't changed.
His turnovers. His turnovers.
Yeah, his turnovers gone down.
His turnovers to touchdown flipped.
Yeah,
is what they're going off of. Because he was like 12 interceptions and like 14 fumbles every year to flipping it to like I think he had like 5 interceptions and like 15 touchdowns. So
he went 24 and 12 his first year. Right, that's a 2.6, and then he went 11 and 10 in 2020.
Got worse.
And then he went 10 and 7, and then 15 and 5. It's almost damn near exactly the same. It's all around the 2.0 interception percentage. Yeah, he has not gotten any better,
bro. That's average.
It was 3-1 this year,
but he hasn't
3-1 this year.
He's the definition of average.
He was at a 3.2 touchdown percentage and a 1.1 interception percentage.
That is why he got paid, because he doesn't. He's average.
But that's
if
not
you
why
can be Alex Smith, you're going to get paid.
You cannot pay a guy for playing 16 games and throwing 15 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. You don't do that. I don't care.
For sure.
There's no justification. Hold on. There's no justification here. There's
his
none.
agent gets a gold star for being incredible.
100%.
Gold star.
The agent does.
So Matt, what do you do in that situation?
What do you do in that situation?
You franchise tag Daniel Jones. You pay Saquon Barkley.
Bro, you're paying him more money to franchise tag him than you are yearly.
Can I finish?
And you're paying Saquon 16
No,
million.
you're not, because the franchise tag is less than 40 mil.
No, but Saquon wants 16 million or more.
But
you're going to pay Saquon that big money, and then you're going to give Daniel Jones.
Because the only reason Daniel Jones was better this season was not because of who was calling plays. It was because his running back was healthy for once.
That's difficult, man, because I
No,
mean,
that's not difficult. That's simple because
think
it's the same as when we have JT. Our offense was thriving when JT was healthy. When he's not healthy, our offense doesn't do anything. The Giants are the same way. They're built to run. They're not built for Daniel Jones.
But we pay the quarterback every year.
Daniel Jones is not a $40 million quarterback.
I agree with that.
Saquon Barkley,
I don't disagree with that.
Saquon Barkley, healthy, earned his contract.
Mm-hmm. But you don't pay running backs in today's NFL. You just don't.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Everyone else in the NFL does. You don't.
The Titans fucked up and paid Derrick Henry, and you can see how bad that contract looks now.
Why? They're about to trade him, and they're going to come up. They're
Okay,
going to come up like their shit smells like roses.
So say they paid him the $37 million that Geno Smith got.
Yeah. But Geno Smith's deal's different because after his first year, that deal falls way the hell off and is super team friendly. Daniel Jones' deal is not like that. It's not even remotely close like that.
Daniel Jones' contract is not team friendly whatsoever.
Right. Daniel Jones got paid like a franchise QB, and that is the definition of average.
He's making $40 million a year. That's base salary. He's getting $35 million on incentives plus a signing bonus.
I just still
Geno Smith.
It's too much.
Geno Smith is 1 year.
So if you give him franchise tag and he doesn't sign it, then what are you doing at quarterback if he decides to hold out?
That's Daniel Jones. You can fucking walk. I don't give a fuck.
You're a quarterback purgatory.
Hold on. You're a 15.5 fucking quarterback. I don't give a fuck. You can walk. You are Alex Smith. You can walk. We didn't make the playoffs. You can walk. Guess what? I'm trading 2 first-round picks.
No, Giants made the playoffs.
Hold on. I'm going. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Guess what? I'm going to go ahead and trade 2 first-round picks, and I'm going to get me Lamar Jackson because he's worth more than $40 million a fucking year.
Yeah, I don't argue with the fact that Daniel Jones got paid. I look at it like the market is the reason why Daniel Jones got paid.
It's not. It's not though, because the average
is how ridiculous. How ridiculous contracts have gotten for quarterbacks.
This is what I'm arguing. This is what I'm arguing because everybody's arguing that this is the market. It's not the market. He just upped the market. He literally just upped the market. The market was 32 mil average. Right. 32 mil is the market. That is what he deserves.
Yeah, but you're hearing Philadelphia is going to pay Hurts somewhere like $53 million. You hear Cincinnati,
and he went to a Super Bowl.
Absolutely. You get right here, Joe Burrow. Absolutely. You're going to hear Joe Burrow get something like $55 million.
Yeah, but we're arguing different.
Joe Burrow went to a Super Bowl.
Zach is saying the QB market is getting up to that point where everybody is getting these huge deals.
Right.
Matt is saying, hold on, real quick. Matt, what you're saying is his salary, what it's calling for, is lower than what he has shown that he should be getting paid for. You're basically saying that 15-5 that he threw, like, okay, yeah, you earned your money, but your money is like $27 million a year.
Yes,
not 40.
Yes,
right. I don't disagree with that.
And then my argument against the QB market. I understand the QB market's going to increase. Daniel Jones should not be the quarterback to increase the market.
Right. I don't disagree with
that.
My
argument. Yes, Daniel Jones could have gotten paid. He's a franchise quarterback for the New York Giants, and he's slightly improved this year. So it shows that he has potential to improve further. If Daniel Jones
don't throw 27 plus touchdowns next year, he ain't earned his money.
Facts.
Right. I don't disagree with that, but I think that the overall quarterback market has gotten so oversaturated that if the NFL itself doesn't put a cap on that position, you're going to see guys making $200 million contracts that don't earn it. And Daniel Jones is the first example of a guy who should be getting paid $27 million a year max.
All I see is a team that panicked.
Yeah, because if Daniel Jones is getting $40 million, I guess Lamar Jackson needs $60 million.
Facts.
I'd pay him more. I would pay Lamar $80 million a year, bro. He'd get you an MVP and you're consistently in the AFC Championship game with a quarterback like him.
Well, he hasn't made an AFC Championship game, so I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, me either.
If you add the weapons and give him the weapons, absolutely, you're a consistent threat.
You can't, because you just paid him $80 million, so he ain't got nobody. It's just him and his money. It's just him and his money. I'll
Fair
be his
enough.
running back. I'll be his running back. You're his offensive lineman, and Matt's his
I'll
receiver.
take it.
That's all he can
Fair
afford.
enough. I'll take
That's
it.
all he can afford.
AFC
Hey, I got
Championship,
hands.
here we come.
I got hands. I can't run routes, but I got hands. All right.
I
Make
can
sure you
block
throw it
above.
low though, because
What's up,
I ain't
Tristan?
tall. I'm 5'8". All right.
Came in late. What's up, Tristan? Oh, but yeah, man, that'll be his offense since he's wanting 80 million. Man, they gotta
Chad enjoyed it. It was coming eventually. Where was Damon at in this time?
yeah. This was more of a understanding debate, not a going at each other debate. Probably because it wasn't about the Colts.
I understood Matt's what he was talking about, but at the same time, the only reason I thoroughly believe that Daniel Jones got what he got was his agent gets a gold star.
Oh,
because
that's
Daniel Jones doesn't deserve that contract at all. Now,
That's
what
all I
Geno
was trying
Smith
to say.
do?
Yeah, I
That's
don't see
all I was
why.
trying
I
to
don't
say.
see why. I feel like if I was a quarterback, I'm going to hire Deshaun Watson's agent because the money he got him, I need that guy.
I don't think anybody wants to work with Deshaun Watson's agent
Hey,
anymore.
I need Deshaun Watson to negotiate my contracts in the Army. Like, get me paid, bud. Come on.
Yeah, get me some money. Oh man.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
what happened to who's the college guy that's usually in here? Big on college. Who's that? He didn't come in tonight.
Jordan. He's not here
Jordan.
today. I didn't see
Kibby,
him.
right?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
Miss Jordan.
I might message him. You're missing next week, right? Next week's your kid's birthday party.
Yes.
All right. So we'll probably
We'll see. We'll see how we're working that out. I think we might be celebrating it on Sunday. So
hey, try to let me know by like Wednesday so I know when to schedule the show so we can figure out because I want to have everybody on for the next War Room because we're
William Matt is active duty. Him and Trev.
Yeah, well, me and Trev, we're both active duty. Trev is a Cav Scout. I'm field artillery, so Trev does like the recon, and I just blow shit up for a living. So
nice.
Oh yeah, Chad. That was a legit debate there about the Andrew Luck when that one got heated. Because I hate when people want to compare people.
I don't
to
remember
Andrew Luck, man. That was the one that.
Is that why I compared Herbert to Andrew Luck?
Yeah, Herbert to Andrew Luck, and he blew my top off.
Yeah, I come said that Herbert is the most talented.
I was with Zach.
Herbert's the most talented quarterback.
Yeah, he said that until they realized you were agreeing.
Yeah, me and Zach weren't debating. Everybody else was debating with me and Zach. Yeah. Me and Zach were on the same page for once.
Yeah, Herbert's the most talented quarterback.
I think that was just us three.
So I've been stationed at Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fort Bliss, Texas, JBL, Washington, and right now I'm down here recruiting in Dallas, actually Frisco to be exact. So I'm actually right here in Dallas Cowboys territory. I work about 5 minutes out from the Star, which is the Dallas Cowboys headquarters. I've seen Ezekiel Elliott rolling around here kind of in flip-flops and a hoodie and shorts in the mall, just kind of walking. Yeah, he drives a Ferrari, and he definitely can't fit in that thing.
Why did Dallas restructure everybody except Zeke?
I think Zeke's gone.
Do you want him on your team? He's like,
yeah, but
dude, he has like no knees now. No knees.
So why not try and get some of that money?
You know, Zeke's gone. I think Zeke's leaving Dallas.
No, they want to keep him, dude. I'm like, what the hell, bro?
I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet.
Urban Meyer worked him to death in college, and then his first 2 years in the league, all they did was run the ball.
And
poor dudes look like Earl Campbell.
Will, I'm sorry that you were stationed at Fort Polk. I spent 1 month there, and that place is the worst place I've ever been to in the Army.
Yeah, Jerry Jones want to keep that place.
Yeah, funny story. One day I was walking in the mall, trying to recruit some people, and I was with my buddies, my one buddy Hendo, and then a couple of National Guard recruiters. We don't work together, but we kind of help each other out. And we were just kind of talking in the food court of Stonebriar Mall down here in Frisco, and Zeke walked by, and my buddy was like, "Yo, is that Zeke?" I was like, I turned around, I said, "No, man, that dude's too fat." Zeke turns around and no shit, it's fucking Zeke. And he was like, "Am I fat?" I was like, "Oh, you look a little bit, but don't beat me up."
Look like you got to stop eating them cupcakes.
Yeah. Good times, man. Good times. Whew. He didn't take a picture with us, but he definitely took a picture with the other National Guard recruiters. He just would not take a picture with me. He's not happy that I called him fat.
Well, that's no big loss. Like he's
No.
probably fat anyway. So like
He looked it. I'll tell you what. He definitely looked it in person. Like he looks fat.
how tall is he? Like 5'4"?
Tall. No, he's
5'9",
tall.
I think. Five.
I think he's taller than that.
I think like 5'9".
I'm gonna look it up, but in person he looked like he was at least 6 foot.
Fair
I
enough.
thought he was like 5'9". Might be 5'11", something like that. Yeah, that was my guy for the first few years he was in the league, dude.
I just
love him.
remember him
6
at
foot.
Ohio State.
Zeke is 6 foot. Yeah.
Him at Ohio State, he was a monster. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
he was.
even when he first came into the league, boy, was running over linebacker. I used to
like
like
I said,
watching Zeke.
He
Earl
reinvented the hurdle.
Yeah, he did.
his career sucked as soon as he jumped in the bucket.
Yes,
he
he
jumped-
did.
Once he jumped in the bucket and started doing the whole cereal meme or whatever the hell it is, his career went downhill.
Facts. 100% agree.
That when you play for the Dallas Cowboys, you're destined to suck ass.
I don't know, man. DeMarco Murray had his best seasons there.
That was my guy too, DeMarco Murray. Until he went to Tennessee, and then I was like,
But he was
good in
trash.
Philadelphia.
Well, Philadelphia is a primarily running team. They've always been a primarily running team. ever
Yeah, but
since I've
Chip
known
Kelly
them.
made him look like a god in Philly.
And Chip Kelly's trash.
That's
He had
fair.
Mike Vick.
not with that Oregon Ducks team, and them Oregon
Yeah, he
Ducks.
made Marcus Mariota look like competent.
That boy
I
D'Anthony
know.
Thomas back in the day went crazy.
Marcus Mariota went what, number 2 overall?
Yeah. I still
Look
don't
at
know
him
Jameis
now.
Winston. That's the
Free
first
agent.
overall pick.
Both of them free agents.
No, Jameis got told to either restructure his contract with New Orleans or they were going to release him by Wednesday.
He's going to be released by Wednesday.
He don't want to be.
Famous Jameis Crab Legs Winston.
There's no. I mean, I don't understand it because Derek Carr's just going to go there. Derek Carr's going to go to the Saints and only take them to about week 17 anyway, and then they're going to be done.
I would
don't know,
never
man.
forget his interception falling over.
Hey, sometimes all a guy does is get pissed off at his team and then go out and play like this season after, plays with his hair on fire. I mean,
Go cry at the podium.
yeah, like I'm not necessarily the big Derek Carr fan, but I mean, if Russell Westbrook has an MVP season, Derek Carr can have an MVP season. So
Hey, Russell Westbrook,
anything's
triple
possible.
double, bro. He got the most
Matt
triple doubles
Ryan.
in NBA history.
Matt
Derek Carr ain't got
Ryan.
nothing.
Matt Ryan had an MVP season.
That needs to go to Kyle Shanahan. I don't count that as Matt Ryan. He needs to give that to Kyle Shanahan. Like,
Hey, Matt, hand that over.
yeah, and that's Kyle Shanahan's.
All right, everyone. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that a wrap tonight. It was a good show. Definitely a good show. We had a good fun time talking about free agents, talking about quarterbacks, talking about different draft prospects. Because all we've literally talked about has been quarterbacks. So we'll let y'all know by Wednesday. Because DeMarco is going to let us know on what he's doing on Saturday. Because we are going to restart our war room. Because of the trade, we decided we are going to go ahead and redo round 1 of our mock draft. So we want everybody here. Hopefully Trev will be here. Trev said he was going to be in the comments, but he lied. So I guess we're going to have to go talk about firing Trev. But
nice.
No, I'm just joking. We ain't firing Trev. We ain't firing Trev. I'm just so used to not having him on the show. He's pretty much a guest when he comes on now.
Right.
Hey, we should make him put guest.
Guest. I'm doing it. I'm doing it next time he's on. The under his name headline.
Why does my name keep changing?
But yeah, we'll let y'all know about Wednesday. We should hopefully be able to do a show on Saturday because I don't like weekends where we don't do a show. But yeah, everybody, appreciate y'all coming out, man. We had some fun in these comments tonight. Everybody, Will, appreciate you coming in. Tristan, always. Chad, always. Mark, welcome to the show. Devin, Steelers fan, but you're always welcome. Bring your friends. Don't care what fan they are. They're always welcome to come here. As the
Hopefully we get
offseason,
everybody else back that missed tonight
Time
as
out.
well.
yeah,
I do care what fans you bring in here. It best not be a Patriot fan.
Yeah, no Pats.
Yeah,
fans.
no Pats fans.
Pats
They can go eat 7
Mhm.
penises for all I care.
oh my goodness.
I'm right
But-
with Zach on that one. No Pats fans. Get
No
out.
All right.
Pats fans, but
All right,
everyone
but
else.
but we'll give you guys a little rundown of what we have planned. So we're gonna do the war room now since we just did our off season. So we're gonna do the war room leading up to the draft. Once the draft is complete, we're gonna go ahead and the schedules should probably be released around that time frame. What we typically do during the off season is we do our own full NFL, not just Colts. We do a full NFL schedule prediction. Zach remembers we did this back, I believe, in 2019 and 2020. It took a few weeks, but we did it. We predicted all the way up to the Super Bowl. So it was good times. It was fun. So if you are a fan of a team that's not the Colts, bring your friends out because your input is going to drastically matter when those times come because we're going to be debating and voting on teams on who we think are going to win those games. It's going to be fun, man. And then we're going to go ahead after that and cut down the roster from the 90 that we start out to the 53, probably starting with Ashton Doolin. Just kidding. It's probably not going to start with Ashton Doolin this time.
He actually getting signed to the roster.
Yeah, last time we did the 53-man roster, we cut Ashton Doolin, and we're kicking ourselves in the ass 3
He's
years
a first
later.
cut. Like,
Yeah,
he's a
first
first
cut.
one cut, and he's actually made the team. And I was like, wow.
And you should see our group chat on game day. Normally, we're always typing Doolin. But all right, everybody. We hope everybody has a good night. I look forward to getting this offseason kicking and going. And new league year starts this week. So get ready for the new league year because it's my New Year's Eve, baby. Let's go.
y'all.
Go Colts. Always.
Bye.
Bye.
He is going to drop the throw. Fires deep along the right sideline for Alec Pierce. He's got it! Touchdown! Touchdown! Alec Pierce spikes it into the end zone. Touchdown! INDY! A 32-yard grab over the shoulder snag.